If we were to name one car that most Indians have memory of, it'll surely be the Maruti Suzuki Alto. Until 2 years back, the Alto used to come in two versions, the 800 and K10. Despite both versions being very popular in the market, the latter was discontinued in 2020. But looking at the popularity and demand in the Indian market, the company has relaunched the Alto K10 in an all-new form. We spent some time with the new Alto K10 to see if it has taken the baton from the earlier version well enough to sprint strongly and intensify the play in the small hatchback segment even more. Let's start with the design and appearance because it looks completely new and rather different from its predecessor. The new K10 is based on Suzuki's latest hard-tech platform that underpins the Espresso as well. The silhouette looks similar to the new Celerio, but the details are quite different, like these petal-shaped headlamps and tall mesh front grille. The bumpers are sharper and the rear looks inspired by the Baleno. The profile is rather simple with a couple of character lines, and the 13-inch wheels go well with its size and shape. The overall appearance is quite convincing for a compact hatchback, and we think there's hardly anything to hate about the design part. Under the hood, the new Alto K10 keeps the same tried and tested 1-litre 3-cylinder K-series petrol engine with a 5-speed gearbox. But it has got some updates in its latest K10C iteration that makes it even smoother and quieter than before. The naturally aspirated BS6 compliant motor continues to make about 65.7 horsepower and 89 Nm of peak torque. These aren't shining figures for sure, but the engine does its job well for the Alto K10. The delivery of power is linear, but to make any sort of rapid progress, you have to push hard and get the engine higher into the rev range. Though unexciting, there's a pleasant build of speed. Overtaking in the typical city traffic setting won't pose much of a problem either, and you won't have reasons to complain in everyday driving. While this petrol engine is eager to rev, it does get a bit vocal beyond 4,500 RPM and tops out at just over 5,500 RPM. The gearbox remains slick and it is perfectly matched with the engine for city driving conditions. And to make it even easier to drive, Maruti Suzuki offers auto gear shift or AGS option as well. Maruti knows the best trick for tuning AMTs, and this one is no different. The shifts are seamless and on point with your throttle inputs. Maruti says that the engine gives better fuel efficiency with the AGS compared to the manual version. The company claims that with both transmissions, it can return over 24 km to a litre. Even in the real-world driving conditions, one can get between 18 to 20 km per litre. The driving dynamics have changed as well, and that's thanks mainly to the new hard-tech platform. The new K10's steering requires less effort, and the new suspension setup does feel different to drive when compared to the old K10, but in a positive way. Ride quality is more comfortable and it feels more nimble as well in urban driving conditions. Stability has also been improved, but some enhancement is still needed when it comes to changing directions at highway speeds. Quite like other Maruti Suzuki cars, the steering in this one also feels a bit sticky, especially at low speeds. When it comes to the cabin experience, the new Alto K10 feels similar to the Celerio with a similar center console, just with fewer buttons. The quality of the interior materials is not the best, but it is better than acceptable in the price range of the new Alto K10. The seats are almost flat and could have been designed slightly better for thigh and lumbar support. The cushioning, however, is just fine. The option of a height adjustable driver's seat or adjustable steering is missing even in the top spec trim, which means a compromised driving position for a specific segment of buyers. Overall, the cabin is designed for practical use. It is much more spacious than the previous K10 and has decent storage compartments as well. We like the simple approach, and we are glad that Maruti did not opt for anything tacky like chrome or any trim stripes. The top spec trim gets a 7-inch touchscreen infotainment unit, which is the same SmartPlay Studio system that comes in most of the entry-level Maruti cars. The response of the screen is not so impressive, but it gets a simple layout and most of the smartphone connectivity options like Bluetooth, Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. There are physical buttons and knobs for the air conditioning system, which are quite convenient to use. The AC also works well despite not having any cooling vents at the rear. Now, the price. The new Maruti Suzuki Alto K10 manual starts at 399,000 Indian rupees and tops off at 584,000 Indian rupees for the VXI Plus AMT trim. With that price bracket, it is the most affordable entry-level car available in India right now after its own 800cc sibling. So clearly, there is no direct competition for the Alto K10 currently, but it will surely put a dent in the sales of some higher-priced entry cars like the Renault Kwid or the Tata Tiago. The new K10 looks okay, offers a decent amount of space inside, and is designed for practicality. It may not have any segment-defining feature, but has everything that you can expect from an entry-level car, and that makes it a strong option for a small family. And then, it is not just about the pricing of the car. When a customer searches for a car keeping affordability in mind, the running cost matters even more. Maruti Suzuki offers the most economical maintenance and low-cost parts, and has the largest service network as well. And then, the highest fuel economy that the K10 offers in its segment is just like a cherry on the cake.